My name is Kiana Branch. I'm the Teen Associate for the Buford Branch Library.
And I'm Mila, a teen librarian at Older Library.
This is Mr. Droopy, and we are going to teach you how to do Plant Basics 101. First, you want to do your research. You need to know what plant is appropriate for your skill set. Some plants that are good starter plants are snake plant, aka mother-in-law's tongue, or the spider plant. And some succulents. This is a zebra plant, and I would say it's a very easy succulent to grow.
And now that you're ready to research and look for a plant, there are some apps that can help you with that. Some good ones are Planta, Vera, Blossom. Look for others, there's lots more. They can help you identify what type of plants they are, how to take care of them, and if there's anything wrong with them, you can also figure out how to fix that. Also, they'll send you reminders to water and care.
So, you've done your research, you know you want to be a plant parent, but where do you get a plant? One thing I recommend is you can either get it from a general chain store like Home Depot and Lowe's, or you can find a plant friend and see if they'll propagate a piece of their plant for you, or look around for smaller local nurseries. You can just simply put into your Google Maps, plant nurseries near me, and things should pop up. Repotting your plant. If you want to repot your plant, there's one thing you first need to consider: pot type. So, there are several types of pot types. This one is ceramic. This one is a plastic pot, and terracotta. It's usually all of this color, but this one has some white glaze on it. The benefits of each pot can vary. For terracotta pots, they're very pretty and eye-catching as home decor. Plastic pots usually have holes at the bottom, which is good for drainage when you water them. And terracotta pots also have holes at the bottom, so they're also good with drainage. If you're going to use a ceramic pot, make sure it either comes with a hole or you make one, or you use the ceramic pot as the decorative outside and there's a plastic inner pot to lift out when you need to water it. Another thing to consider when you're repotting your plant is soil type. There are several different types of soil. The top two are regular in-house potting soil. You can get this at a Home Depot or Lowe's. And succulent dirt. Succulent dirt is for succulents, like the name says. And the difference between regular dirt and succulent dirt is well draining for your succulents. Succulents don't need a lot of water, so we want to make sure it doesn't stay wet too long. If you're like me and was unable to find succulent dirt this morning at the Home Depot, there's a fix for that. You can use regular potting soil and sand mixed together. It will help your soil drain and not harm your succulents. Let's get started. Take your bag of regular dirt. I would recommend using a cup to help you scoop it out. And add a little sand. And I'm going to alternate until I fill it up at what I consider the right level. How much dirt you want to put in there really depends on you. For some, this amount of dirt is just fine, but since Mr. Droopy is a little short and has trailing pieces on him, like these, I'm going to go ahead and put some more dirt in there. Once you have enough dirt in your pot, you're going to make a little hole or a little divot like that. Carefully take Mr. Droopy out. If you lose some, that's okay. Gonna pull Mr. Droopy's little arms out, and then you're gonna pack the dirt down. And once you're confident he's secure, give it a little tap, pat down a little more. I would caution though, since you're using regular potting soil, with sand, be careful when patting it down. You want to pack it too tight and make the soil too wet for Mr. Droopy. Now, usually when you repot a plant, you would water the plant, but since Mr. Droopy is a succulent, you want to give him time to get settled in his new home. Usually it has a week wait time, and after that, you can water. And that's how you repot a succulent.
Remember that all plants need light, some more than others depending on the plant you get. So make sure you position your plant in your house near the window or some sort of light. You can even purchase a light specifically designed for plants, indoor plants. And also make sure to position the plant somewhere where there's no air vents directly blowing on your plant because they can dry out your plants really quickly in the AC or when heat is on. And one major thing to remember is water your plant. I usually forget to do that, and sometimes they end up like this. Or this. So there are different ways you can water your plants. You can just straight up water them. Make sure you soak them really well. And here is the importance of why Kiana mentioned so many times you have to have a hole in your pot. The water needs to drain out of your plant. Otherwise it will sit in there and the roots will rot. And that is a sure way to kill your plant. Also, there's another way to water your plant. You can fill your cup with water and just let it sit in there. It will soak up through the hole and we'll take care of it. Now, if your plant begins to float like this, you put too much water in it. So just get rid of some and leave it like that. So that's how you water. You also need to sometimes mist your plants. A lot of these plants come from tropics originally, so they're used to humid air and they like their leaves to be humid. So sometimes you just mist them really quick, the leaves all around. And sometimes you need to remember not to overwater your plants. I've done that before too. So what I do usually is stick my finger in the plant, in the soil. If it's really damp, just leave it be. But if it's really dry at the top, go ahead and water it. Soak it really well. And that's how you water your plants.
And this is a burrowtail succulent. He's really easy to propagate. How easy? That easy. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to propagate. Remember how I said Mr. Droopy is really easy to propagate? The only thing to propagate succulents like Mr. Droopy is usually you can take a piece and sit it on the dirt. Just like Mother Big Droopy, when you first repot it, once you're propagating it, let it chill a little bit in the dirt for a week or so, and then you can water the tips. And what I mean by the tips is this little blunt piece right here. And if you're successful, you'll see little baby droopies growing from the end. Now, most spider plants, once they reach a certain age or grow a certain length, they give off spider plant pups, or spider plant babies as I like to call them. So these can't stay forever because it'll make the mother plant a little weak, so you have to cut them off and propagate them. How you do that is fairly simple. You find a cord on the spider plant like this one and cut as close to the base of it as you can get. Once it's off, you want to cut the spider babies from the stalk. Once you have those off, they're ready to be propagated. Unlike Mr. Droopy, you're going to propagate this in water rather than dirt. You can use a very simple container like a red Solo cup. You can just fill it up with water and drop them in. But for safety's sakes and for me to keep an eye on them, I'm going to cut it down a little bit and I'll show you how to do it. You're going to take your scissors, go an inch or two down, cut on one side, and then cut on the other side. And cut all the way around. Pour some water in there. I would say almost full, but leave a little room. You don't want it to overspill. Now, you might think you only need to put one in here, but since there's plenty of room, I think I can fit all spider plant plants in there. And putting 3 in them also helps them stay afloat and upright so their roots stay in the water. It'll take a few weeks for these to propagate. How you know they're ready is when you pull them out of the water, you'll see there's like roots coming off of it. It'll be, look for roots that are about 1 inch or 2 long. Once they reach that stage, they're ready to be put in dirt. Ta-da!
Thank you for watching. I hope you found something useful and learned something new. And check out our list down below with lots of helpful resources, websites, and videos and books. And make sure to share your stories with us if you have success with your baby plants, and we would love to see pictures. Be sure to like and subscribe.